Hey, welcome back to the shop. I've been putting some overhangs up over the entrance here and my roll-up door over my outside of my garage where like lawnmowers and stuff are. So let me take you on a quick tour of what we're doing here and how I designed those trusses. One thing I really like, it was kind of an unplanned aesthetic aspect of this, is that essentially that roof line, it basically disappears from out here at the level of my driveway. All you see is the diagonals underneath. This is going to get an upright out here on the end, probably about here, but if you follow that straight down, you can see that's where I've been putting the drain in that drains the front of the garage. This is an bit of underground pipe here, and it needs to continue all the way down to where those trees are. So I'm gonna have to figure out the geometry in between that drain and that overhang. But that's just on this side. It's not a problem on the other side. So let's take a walk around the garage here real quick. These are designed to be built out of two 2x4s. There's an 8-foot 2x4 here that's 7 foot 9.5. This piece is 42 because it had to fit above the door and underneath of the rafters. And then this diagonal's got a 45 on one end and a whatever the mating cut was on the other. I forget the number, but it's a steeper angle than a 45. These are the same trusses that essentially I built my front porch out of. But also here's the entrance to the bunker, the basement, and these are the exact same trusses that are there. Here they're 48 tall, so the diagonals go, the uprights go all the way up. You can see them up above the sheet metal line. They go all the way up to the bottom of the windows and fit down here. All those, the ones over here on the entrance, they're all lagged into the building, into the uprights. These are 24, basically spacing. They match the windows, but they're actually lagged into the cripple studs underneath the windows, so they're all lagged in there. And then here's the new one we just finished today. This is going to get these purlins need to be supported out here on the end, so they're just going to get some 2x4 blocks screwed into the rough cut siding there. But this came out really nice, and I'm using a 4-inch bolt lag here at the bottom and a 6-inch lag at the top, and both of those are lagged into all of the uprights on the inside of the building. So you don't see those on the inside because they go through the wall and into the upright studs. So this is also going to get vertical, a horizontal across here with a post down on that end. That post is just going to hit that concrete pad where my rough cut is, and then on this end I'm actually going to have to put a hole in the ground and a concrete thing. But these end up being great. I mean, this will support any rain and wind. Actually, they're really nicely tied together. It just won't support a snow load, so I need to support it before the snow gets here. Here's the set of screws that I'm using. These are the 6-inch lags that are in the top. They basically will all go into the top double plate header at the top of the wall, and then these are the 4s, and these 4-inch with these really broad heads. These go straight into the stud uprights. These are in compression, so they're not as critical. These are actually in tension, so I wanted to make sure they had a big fat head on them, and they went all the way into the upper plates, so that nothing will pull out of there. And each of these has 2 3-inch screws that are coming in from behind. So there's a pair of screws here and a pair of screws here. And you can probably see the pair of screws that's underneath the diagonal there that's holding that. Those are in compression too, so that's not a big deal. The really one that's a really big deal is the one up here. It's trying to maybe pull out if you pull all these out. But once they get supported out here, no big deal. This is the material I'm using for the purlins. This is full 1 inch thick rough cut ash, 2 inches wide. So those purlins are they're really overbuilt. I can hang on those. I can hang my weight on those, and nothing even flexes. So that's a bit overbuilt. And the sheet metal is the same as what's on the roof of the building. It's the standing seam metal, and it's all 16 inches wide. So where those pieces screw in, you can see the standing seams here. Where those screw in, and then those edges that you see snap onto what's screwed under. They end up actually landing right on these 2x. The only thing I got to be careful is not to put the screws for the roof into the screws that are where the purlins are screwed into the 2x4s. Had that hit a couple times, and all of a sudden the screw stopped going in. I was like, what's going on? So here's a quick look at the schematic drawing I did for building those trusses. And to make a jig to screw those trusses together, I literally just put screws into my plywood floor, and that made it really fast. I built all 10 of the trusses that are over that back garage door in about 2 hours. I set multiple saws up with the different angle cuts and stuff. One other thing I'll say is this little stack of boxes over here I made with dividers in them. I needed to get rid of those. I just had those on a shelf, and I need to get rid of the shelf. So if anybody wants a little tutorial on that box, leave me a comment. I probably will do one. It was kind of interesting because I used a CNC machine that's sitting right over here to actually do the slots. They're divided out by little pieces of plywood, and I cut the slots for the plywood using the CNC machine, and I used kind of a neat little technique for that. So if anybody's interested, check out, please subscribe and all that, and we'll do a video on that here in the not too entirely distant future. I've been very, very busy, and so haven't filmed a lot of the infrastructure updates that have been going on in the shop. But the one thing that you can see right here, that's my big 3D printer. Stereo's in, and I got a really nice tool line here going out toward the door. The belt sander and air compressors and air hoses and all that kind of stuff. So we're a little bit of high tech, a little bit of low tech here. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get my watch hours up. So here's a playlist of all the woodworking stuff that I have. It's very long. If you let it play, it'll play for almost an entire day. I have a lot of videos here. I don't post super frequently, and so the algorithm doesn't feed this out to very many people. But I really appreciate everybody watching, and I'm at about 375 watch hours for the year. You have to be at 3,000 to be able to do any kind of community thing, monetization, stuff like that. Yeah, I might get there eventually, but it's not a goal of mine. This is not my job. This is my hobby. So anyhow, thanks for following along. See ya.